Sweet Intellect. Hosted by Dago's Own Festive.
You are now tuned in to Sweet Intellect Radio.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Believe it or not, we are on episode 3 of Sweet Intellect Radio. Welcome. I am so glad to be here, yet again joined by some lovely company. But I would like to set the intentions. You know, it's a Sweet Intellect tradition here. Every episode, we make sure we affirm what we need, what we deserve, and what we want. And here to start us off is Thais. Take it away, baby.
Okay, guys, what's up? What's good? How we doing? What's poppin'? So, I want to definitely talk about this first because this is the first transition that's going to be happening. Uranus has been in Taurus now for a few years and it's going to be there for a while. We call Uranus the slow planet because it takes its time in every single sign. Okay, so it's going direct. This is great because it's been in retrograde, which means it's kind of been a shift in innovation. That's why all the riots have been happening, including Mars and, Aries. But now it's going direct. So since it's going direct, Taurus, like we talked about before, is all about the finer things in life, whether that's food and wine, whether that's looking good. And then we have Aquarius. So since Aquarius is about the community, this is the time now to connect more than ever, even create new ways of eating, create new ways of speaking, and even collaborating. If you guys want to start some gardens, make it happen, make it do what it do, okay? Now let's talk about another retrograde. Mercury in Aquarius retrograde. Now, Aquarius, it is Aquarius season. It's okay. This is coming up in a few days, y'all, so prepare yourselves. It is time for us to understand that there's going to be a little bit of a foggy mentality. It's okay. This is what I have to tell you. Power through. Be patient with yourself. Aquarius is an air sign, okay? So we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Go with the flow. It's just going to be for a couple weeks. No worries. And with that being said, I know I talked about it in the last episode. Venus is going into Aquarius. Be good, y'all. Put on that leather if you won't. Make it happen. You're going to be a little bit more independent when it comes to love, when it comes to connecting, and when it comes to all of the free-spiritedness. Now, remember, retrograde is all about the re's, whether that's reconnecting with old flames. Be careful, relax, rejuvenate, and reunite, and reorganize. I like that. Last but not least, are y'all ready? The sun is coming out, so there is going to be a full moon, but it's going to be in Leo. So a luminescent, it's all about tapping into your heart chakra and being okay with your amazing magic, okay? Be bold, be adventurous. But the flip side of Leo, do not be overconfident, okay? Because if you seek attention, it's going to show. It's almost like you're looking for attention. We don't want that. We want to just illuminate. We are who we are. Wear more gold, wear more reds, get a new hairstyle, speak with confidence, and just make sure to watch your temper, okay? Relax, allow yourself to be, and remember, let the past be and create a new future. Don't count your losses, look for what you learn and gain from every situation. Thank y'all.
Period. Oh my God, that was delivered beautifully. You speak to my soul, to my spirit. How are you, Thais? How you been?
Honestly, God bless, man. It's been a crazy 2020. I know we can all say it, get out. Like, have a nice day. I'm not going to miss you, but I'm glad I learned a lot of challenges. Hello, 2021. I'm glad we can all connect too in this new year, collaborating, already doing it right, like we already talked about.
I love
We
it.
here. So I'm good. Y'all good. We good. Queen.
Oh my God. And right next to her, we have Teal, Miss Ideal.
Yo, your girl Teal Ideal in the building, 5'2" with the bar so crazy.
Let's go. Okay. And to my left, we have the one, the only, Miss Starlina. How are you?
Hello. I feel good. I feel great again. day. But I'm excited to share some things with you guys today. I'm excited. I hope you guys are in the mood for a good time and some good topics.
Yes. You know what? And I do want to share with our listeners at home right now, we all have a beautiful glass of wine, thanks to Miss Star. Star, before we get into this episode, tell the audience what we're sipping on.
So we are sipping on a rosé. I
Yes.
I have been getting a lot into wine since the pandemic happened. I already liked wine, but once I got in there and I got time to study them and see what they tasted like, I realized I really love sharing that with other people. And today I brought you guys Edna Valley Winery. It's a vineyard that's up in Edna Valley, named up in San Luis Obispo. Very good wines. They're really known for Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, but this is a rosé because I know that's what you ladies like. So we're gonna have this one over here, and I hope you guys like it. You guys did a little smell test earlier. We have all the different scents that are usually found in wines present here today, so you guys got to smell them. Hope you remember that. So when you smell your wines, you know exactly what you're looking for.
Wait, so do you know exactly what's in here? Do you have like a cheat sheet?
I don't. I mean, I read the bottle.
Are we going to do a guessing game? Well, you have a cheat sheet.
Yeah, I want you guys to just smell them out, see how they smell to you. Do you notice anything like right off the top? That's
Cherry.
the whole air. Jill had a little fun with hers, and she put some maraschino cherries in her wine.
I forgot about the smell test, but now I'm in it. I'm in it, guys.
Apple in this?
There is some apple, yeah.
Hallelujah.
Good call.
Thank you.
What else
I
you
feel
guys
like there
thinking?
might be blueberry in there,
Okay, there is a little bit of a darker berry,
but
which
not
is
blue.
it's not necessarily blueberry, but this one, because it's made from a Petite Syrah grape, it actually has a stronger flavor, like more of the bitterness that you would get in a red wine, because that berry itself has a really thick skin. So, and it's a little berry. So thick skin a little bit, but they took it out just in time, so it's not as bitter as you would with a red wine, but that's what you're tasting.
Yeah. Magic.
Now, one of the items on the table that Star brought is Hawaiian bread, Hawaiian rolls. I got a question. Does wine really incorporate Hawaiian bread rolls, or is that
No. I mean, it can.
Okay.
There are
So I'm
some
here for
very
it.
like wines that kind of taste buttery. Like Chardonnay is kind of known for that taste.
Yeah.
But I got the Hawaiian bread because usually if you're gonna taste different wines, you want to have something to clean your palate.
I see. Okay.
You know what I mean? So you use bread. Usually you want something that's like neutral. But when you're sitting at home, sometimes you have Hawaiian bread. I do.
You know what I like about bread the most, though? When you get really drunk, you need something to soak up all that,
Yeah.
So the fact that you're giving bread right before, I'm like, my stomach is good.
True.
Yeah,
Let me
like
top
I'm
it up.
going to church.
Yeah. Preach, sister.
I love that, you guys. It's so great how, I don't know, I feel like every woman on this show, when they like something, they go very hard for it. And just to see the table, if y'all can see the table we have right now, we got dishes of lemons and apples and blackberries and raspberries. And this is just crazy because when I sip wine, it's to feel some type of way and dance a certain type. But today you're exposing me to a different side. And thank you. You're educating. I love it.
I love it. It's my favorite part. And I will say that with all this creative energy she was talking about in the intentions, I am a Taurus, Aquarius, Capricorn. This is my season. This is all of my signs together. But they're all about taste. They're all about comfort. And that's what I'm here to talk about. Because I realize, like, as things go on, giving myself pleasure and self-care is part of, my self-esteem and confidence and my, what I have to offer and show people. So this is part of it. This is my season. Hello.
Okay. I love that. You know what? I like that you talk about how, regardless of if it's your season or not, that you want to practice ways to appreciate yourself, to express your self-worth. I think that's very important because for the longest time, I thought, self-worth, to get that, you had to find that through validation of others. But I'm learning that you have to do that throughout yourself, within yourself. And is that something you would say you realized early? Is that something that you come equipped with? Or is that something you got to learn over time? Over time,
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
it's something
Okay.
you realize when it's out of balance too. You might have like that judgmental thought to a girl on Instagram or just something random, or just that insecurity flares. And it's almost like, oh, that might be the trigger that's telling me I'm not giving myself enough self-care. Because normally I walk around so like excited and inspired for all the women around me. But when I start to not be, it's like, okay, point that mirror back at you. What's going on?
If you're
can
easily
agree with that.
disturbed, how do you fix that problem? If you're easily disturbed, it's not anybody else's problem.
And I love it. I love that we never blame each other. Like the friendship I have with Thais, there's been plenty of weeks where she's like, sis, I love you. Time to get back to me. See you in 5 days.
100.
Right.
Doesn't mean I'm mad at you. And, it's just a reflection of an awareness of yourself that I think is a really beautiful thing to have. I prefer people keep it real like that,
I would have to say, like, I had like friendships before, and I'm gonna just keep it straight to the point always. I had friends before, we would just talk about things and not actually do it. And then you go on Instagram, you hate yourself, you're like, oh, that person's doing this, they're getting all this great recognition. But like when you really think about it, what are we doing right now to even get that recognition? We're not even doing anything. We're not even putting in the work. We're not actually doing it. If you have time to be envious, you have time to work on yourself. And that's just 100%. Everyone has their own situation. Like, who are you to tell the next person that they don't deserve something when you don't know what they're doing behind the scenes? Like, they could have been working for this for 3 years, 4 years, and this is their moment. And when you work for yourself, that's your moment. That's that.
Period. And that's definitely, you know what? I think somebody need to put that in a textbook somewhere. If you have time to hate on another bra, you got time to fix yourself and work within. Because I think it does
100%.
take knowledge, and it takes a lot of mistakes, if you will, to realize you need to take a step back and realize what the anger's coming from, what the resentment might be coming from. And I think that self-worth, once you're working on it within, it does show on the outside, because you start to make different moves. You start to pick different people around your circle, and your preferences change.
You level up.
You find that the
level
things
up.
that don't belong in your life just weed themselves out automatically without trying. You're
Love
like,
that.
and sometimes it's frustrating. You're like, I thought we were going in a, but
the
sometimes
universe
that's not
always
how it
knows.
works out.
I hope this is not too off topic, but are any women, or especially in the circle right now, experiencing this like this kind of almost fakeness though between this like feminist support we're giving each other? Like, it's so yes queen, but I feel like some of the honesty might being left out, because God forbid you look like a hater for saying, I don't really like that outfit that you styled, or sorry, the track you came out with is not my favorite. Those just a genuine honest opinion that may be construed, because right now women have to just look and feel like we're being excessively supportive of each other. I really want to keep the truth and the honesty alive in my female friendships as well, especially when it comes to our crafts and what we're doing, because I feel like some of that constructive criticism coming from someone you respect will, in the end of the day, elevate you, not diminish what you're doing. Are we experiencing that? Because if I write a comment on, say, some Instagram rapper's thing, I'm getting 20 comments back telling me I'm so and such and I'm this and that. And I'm like, interesting, because it's just my point of view.
I think, well, I'm gonna speak on, obviously my behalf, but like when it comes to solidarity, like I have learned other people's opinions, yes, really doesn't matter, but when you take the time to be by yourself, you notice how to grow. You notice how to be nice to yourself when you finally get okay with being alone. That when you're around other energies that reflect that, you automatically know. Like me, I can tell if I'm gonna like somebody or not when I first meet them. That's 100%. I stay quiet, I stay low, and that's just what it is. But I think when it comes to actually experiencing fakeness, I like to be that creative that works alone for a reason, because you can be around all these people, but then everybody either starts talking about each other or everyone's competing with each other. It's like, do your own thing, grow alone. Like, that's how you actually grow, by being by yourself and with other people. 100%. That's how I feel.
I think, like, in response to Teal, I feel that, there's a balance between constructive criticism and being a hater. And like you said, it's like sometimes, of course, we want to uplift each other as women because, I mean, damn, if we don't do it, who will type shit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, we do want to be constructive with our criticism. So it's like, if we see something that we see is might be unhealthy or toxic, instead of just being like, yes, queen, it's like, where do we kind of let them know, hey, but at the same time, I'm concerned for you. Live your best life, but this ain't it right here. Because I'll tell you right now, if somebody felt indifferent to something I did, I would want them to tell me rather than promote it. You know what I mean? By adding a comment or double tapping and having it be wrong. It just sucks we have backlash for it.
Right. Or like, I mean, it is the age-old saying, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. But and it's very true. And I live by that most of the time. But there's certain things I comment on and I'm just, it's just a genuine opinion. And I feel like because it's not like you're ugly or you're like, it's not some like broad statement that makes no sense. It's just my opinion. And I think that women just stick to your opinions, feel good about what you're doing, feel like you can speak out. And it's not going to be all butterflies in these kind of female relationships. There's an ebb and flow that happens there.
In any kind of relationship, somebody's always going to disagree with you.
Right.
You have to be okay with presenting your point from your perspective in whatever way you see it and not being altered by, like, obviously take caution, right? Like, if somebody does give you facts, look into them. Learn, make sure you're not spouting just bullshit. Right. But, if you truly believe in something, stick by it. Just let people say it and don't be mad if they don't take it because it's not their job to understand you.
I don't know. I feel like, I think it's very interesting. Social media is wild because, there are things where I will view it and I'm like, this is not the one. And I go to the comments and it's like, go off. This is my favorite. Oh my God, go again. Do this. And it's wild. It brings me to think about like, just society's norms and what we deem as attractive and unattractive and healthy and toxic. And it's like, there's just so many different opinions. There's so many different opinions.
Well, it goes like this. People will respond to all the negative comments that they get, but not the positive ones, right? People will spread a bad review of some place, word of mouth, before we'll spread a positive one. Why as a society are we more fired up and willing to give our energy to when someone does something negatively? And I've seen some of my favorite artists do this, where I look at their Twitter comments and all they can do is point out every hater and give them that energy back. Instead of the people who have been rocking with them from day one, just really supportive. It's like, I don't know, it's something like the way our society is like wired that we are intrigued by the negativity. It's like, someone said this. Okay, now I'm going to give my energy to it.
That's why I know a lot of people always ask me this question, like, why do you turn off your comments? I turn off my comments not because of some reason that people probably think it is. No, I'm going to tell you the reason. When I used to be on Instagram, I would look for, it's that pressure of social media. You know what I'm saying? If I don't get enough comments, I'm deleting my posts. That I was that person. I'm like, not a lot of people like it. They're not really fucking with it. This other person's post looks mediocre. What's going on? They have thousands of comments. Where my loyal followers at? So I had to turn off of my comments for my own mental health. Like, when it comes to comments, it's true. Once you get that negative connotation, you're like, oh my God, out of the 1,000 of people, there's 25 bad comments. Like, that's what you're looking at. And that's a true statement. So that's how I feel too.
And it's everyone. It's like literally your favorite artist does it and your most local, and
clapbacks.
Just us women here do it. So right. It's like, it's interesting to think why we do that.
Speaking on the opposite side of that though, like let's say you post a picture, you ever get unsolicited bullshit? Like, they be calling you little honey bun, they be putting little emojis under your pictures, or you might get a DM from somebody you don't know. And it's
Follow
always
me.
I want to be your
something-
sugar daddy.
Yeah, like DM me, stuff like I
Or
remember
pictures.
No one slides in.
Girl, I feel like there's another side to it. Like there's the
is.
hate, but then there's the just unsolicited
Unsolicited love.
intrusive ass like comments, and it's very sexualized. I feel. I remember my album cover I uploaded. Somebody said I would pay to see your feet pics. I said, sir, that's not what we talking about. I said, that's not what we talking
How
about
much?
right now.
You should have put shoes on
Go
you, girl.
to-
I'm
go pay
sorry.
to see
No
my
socks, no
music.
shoes, nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
girl.
can still take them off. Show 'em.
Okay.
She was queening.
You better get an
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans and get your pedicure done every week and get this dodo.
But that's what I'm saying.
Write
So
it
it's
off
like,
as a business expense, girl.
Yeah, like I'm over here worried about the hate or the negativity, but it's like, but then we also have the sexualization of stuff that's everywhere. And it brings me to this concept that I wanted to share with you guys.
At least you know you have good looking feet.
Hey, shout out to Feets one time, Piggly Wigglies.
Piggly
But
Wigglies.
I got a group question because it's been on
Yeah.
my mind. So, what is sexy to you? What does a word sexy mean?
Damn.
'Cause
Where
I know
do
it ain't feet.
start?
It's just like ravenous. I feel like that's the word. You're like, ooh,
ravenous.
let me.
I say chemistry.
Ooh, sexy is
Like,
chemistry.
yeah, it's
Okay.
like you can have a chemistry with anything. Like,
I'm gonna
Anything
put a
is sexy.
sense to it. I say feel is sexy. Like it's my most favorite part of the feeling of feeling sexy.
Got you
I
because
know
you
what her love
feel.
language
She's
is.
saying
Feel
you don't
it.
smell sexy. Well, you can.
You can.
There's different ways to be sexy. There is.
Yeah.
I want to say sexy to me is something about attraction. So there might be an attraction to lust and attraction to fortune, but whatever it is, the sexy about it, it's attracting the fuck out of you.
shit.
And I want
Money
to
is
talk
sexy.
about
Right.
So like, what do you need to feel
The ones with the
sexy?
big old smiles, the ones that with
Oh,
all
so
the
you
teeth,
like the
you're
smiles.
like, look, stop
She
it.
got feet.
You better sit down,
Gemini's
sit down,
attack.
A confidence.
and then
You
they
know
look
that-
angry. You're like, that looks good too.
Yes, a smile, confidence. Okay, confidence is sexy. We love confidence.
Are y'all ready for mine?
Yes.
I love eyes. Eyes are like, I can read people through their eyes. So like when we have like this eye contact, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I know you feel it. I know you feel it. Let's make it happen.
Make it happen.
I love that. Okay, so we have confidence, we have a good smile, we have eyes. I think this is all different features that, of
We
course,
find sexy.
Yeah, but
I
it
guess
all
what you're
makes
asking
sense.
is more like what makes us feel sexy, or
That too, because at the same time, I feel like the way you portray your eyes might feel sexy. Would you hit with a little smoky eye or something? But I feel like maybe your smile, you give somebody a certain smile, and that's sexy. Just like the way you
It's
display
that little
your
twinkle in your eye while you're smiling.
Oh,
like
I
makes the
didn't think
difference.
So it's like
you know
a
what I mean?
mirror of what we already
That's what I'm.
possess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Bitch, I do love my eyes. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie to you.
you know what I'm saying?
We see it with the
We're
jewels on
attracted
him.
to the things. We're attracted to
I like
things in
that.
other people that we're attracted to in ourselves.
Yes.
too.
This is true.
Law of
Yeah,
attraction.
I love people
I'm a
that
great
like to get
example.
dressed. If you have,
Ooh.
you know what I mean? If you get up and you get up for your day, I want to see you. Like I like when people take effort in getting dressed.
Dressing is very important. I think smells and hygiene.
I
I
agree.
think
Oh.
hygiene's sexy as hell. You got some clean cuticles, boy. Come here. Fuck you talking about? I feel like stuff
Yes,
like that. Like
manicures.
yes, the fact that you're putting effort into your appearance, and I realize it's because I feel that I sit here and spend too much time on my hair. I spend way too much doing my eyeliner, and it's like might be why that's what I look for in a partner. That's why it's sexy to me because I know the effort it takes. You know what I mean? Sexiness. I don't know. Speaking of this wine, that's something sexy for sure.
I was gonna say the rosé for sure is sexy.
Oh, I like it.
Something that makes me feel sexy. I don't know, a vibe. I'm like a vibe person, so like I like a low light situation. I like a candle. I like
You
it to
set the
smell
ambiance.
right. It's like sexy is when you hit almost. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it's one sense. It's kind of when you hit all the senses. It's like the ultimate satisfaction, right?
Yes.
It's like being in a sexy moment. But obviously, romance plays a role. Intimacy, respect for your partner, all those things can play a role. And I think that the level of like love relationships is evolving. Like you guys are going to experience so depthful relationships after this COVID thing. I really do. For all my single people, that's what I wish for y'all. I hope you guys hear this. You are going to find a depthful, yes, meaningful relationship because you're looking for different things now. You're just blessed to breathe fresh air. You want to go hike with your friends. You want to be at the beach. You want to do things that are being taken away from us from just what we're going through. So I'm excited for you guys. You guys are going to find that. Yeah.
Teal said, not me, though. Y'all be easy. I got my man at home.
I'm sorry. I have one perspective to give.
But I love that, though, because for me, it's like I've had to maintain sexiness throughout the quarantine. Whereas, like, the way you keep it sexy is with your partner. So it's a whole different ballgame, you know? I think that's beautiful. I would say, for me, I feel like it's been a little hard to be sexy during quarantine because, I mean, you can't even meet new people.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's different. And
You
all
don't know
you
what
got is
they've been
online.
doing.
Exactly. You don't know what they were doing. Do they have to wear a face mask when we meet? You know, stuff like that. So it's been a little interesting. Like, I hate when I go out looking bomb and my face mask does not match.
It's
I
the
got
most
a blue
and
face
then I
mask.
just put on my lip gloss to cover.
Girl.
Look, and then I pull up to, like, you know, my first stop.
Sometimes I'd be like, damn. Like, what the fuck? And now it's all over my face underneath. Like,
it's the worst. It's the worst. It's been really, like, I think when I'm performing, it's difficult because it's like, what am I going to wear? But at the same time, I don't even know if these people are going to fuck with the vision, fuck with me, because I can't see their mouths. So I can't see them smile. I can't see them cheer.
They really have to move.
I feel that.
Yeah, and it's so different. And I feel like it's been a little bit tough because not only do we have, like, okay, literal things like a face mask to prevent us from feeling sexy, but we also haven't been outside and been experiencing things as we usually have, which means we haven't been doing our same things. So sometimes we start to second guess if we're lacking something just because we're not experiencing it the same. You know what I mean? But I feel like as single women, I mean, it seems like we got some resources. You know, we hit the angles with it. You know, we got an Instagram filter. We got a little lingerie.
Ew.
we like lingerie.
Yes. So I know I like, when I was saying self-care, I like doing Yoni Steams. I wanted to bring this up.
What is that? Please.
A Yoni Steam?
Yes.
It's almost like an herbal tea sauna for your vagina.
Okay, word.
You're like
Yeah.
standing over a volcano, but it's soft.
It's like the mist that comes up from the volcano. But, you know, you can let it cool down, but it feels so good. And all the herbs are for, like, relaxing your pelvic muscles. And like, for me, I feel like the most beneficial part of it is the mental, like, spiritual connection that you get because you're taking care of a part of your body that is often neglected in your mind and also with society because people like to talk, you know, they don't like to talk about vaginas. They don't like to talk about how you treat them besides put them away and make sure that, you know, you don't get any of your mother nature on anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is.
I'm normalizing walking around the store without a bag or a cart holding my pads or my tampons.
Yes.
What's good? Say
Oh my
something.
gosh. What? It's crazy.
Like-
We're still on this. Did you hear about, okay,
Thank you.
so they just made it free to have tampons. Like, it's now free for hygienic products.
Good.
I want to say in Canada. And the ad for it was a
Shit.
tampon. It was a guy with a smiley face on the tampon, little string. And there was a popular influencer that had a comment that said it was too seductive. Too suggestive was the word he used. And I feel like it's crazy that it's 2021 and people are offended by a tampon
We're
with a
people.
smiley face.
What the hell?
That's crazy. And they said, well, sir, how is it suggestive? He goes, the squiggle at the bottom. Sir,
Okay.
like, I just think that's crazy how it gets to
Squiggle
me.
at the bottom. That's
Yeah,
it.
the squiggle at the bottom. And it's crazy how it's like we're now sexualizing things that don't need to be sexualized. Yet we still want to maintain sexiness.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like these things, these standards that we're put up to, that's not sexy at all.
It's not. And like, what are we teaching our kids? Like, honey, if you're attracted to a woman, okay, you need to know I'm going to get my period. Okay?
Period.
And you need to know that sometimes I'm going to be dying and I'm going to need for you to swing by the store. Okay?
That's a great representation.
Just saying, if you hang with me, I got you. Listen.
Period. I love, okay, so real quick, back on the Yoni Steam, because I'm blown away right now.
We were talking about Yoni Steams.
I'm
I still want to do one.
I've never, okay, I'm new
Okay,
to this.
so me and
How do
Thais
you
have
do
done
it?
them together.
I
It's
saw the pot. You can do it on, like, you can get one that doesn't even go in the toilet. It just goes on the floor.
Yeah,
It
no,
goes
that's what I've been
toilet?
using. I use like a insulated tortilla warmer.
Okay, I got one of those.
No, for real, because it has like, it's the metal one, right? So it keeps the water heated for over an hour for sure. So you're just sitting over it and you're just getting a very nice steam bath.
So you squat over the bowl.
I do. Yeah. Some people use like the toilet and they have a bowl that'll sit inside the toilet.
Okay.
But I don't want to sit on the toilet for an hour. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's an hour long.
Well, I do it. I do it for
an
I do
hour.
it at least like 30 to 45 minutes at minimum. Because the whole time, like, I'm also journaling. I'm also lighting candles. I'm also saging. I'm also like meditating. I'm listening to music. I'm doing all of these things and taking my time with each one. So it's like a spiritual bath for me too.
Wow,
and
your
I do it
knees
in my
are
room.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, your knee game is
I know how to put the
strong.
pillows so my elevation, my circulation is good. I got it.
I'm getting into this, you guys.
I
It's
did it
fun.
for
I'm gonna
like
have to-
20 minutes, and my knees were like tight. Like, I was like, "Girl, how you do this?"
And I do stretches over it too, so it's fun.
Okay.
was
So where can we find Yoni Steams? Is this like an Amazon Prime type of deal, or do we gotta know
There
somebody?
are like independent people.
Yeah.
For My Sisters 333. She has a small business here in San Diego. She is a beautiful woman. She has a great story. She
Shout out.
sells them. She can, drop them off, or you can order them online. But you can find her on Instagram for sure. You can get those Yoni blends that she does. She does them for different reasons that you might be having issues. It could be trauma. It could be period. It could be anything like that. So there's different blends that you can do.
Ooh, girl.
And they just help you meditate on those problems and those, chakras to heal.
This is Yoni or Yanni? How's it?
Yoni. I
Yoni.
say Yoni. I don't know
Okay,
what that is.
so episode 4 will be Yoni Steam reviews because I'm about to get my ass one.
Oh, we about to do
immediately.
them. And y'all about to hear how it goes.
As soon as I get down, we're coming to you live from the Yoni Sauna.
Yes, we
No,
can
I'm
do that
playing.
together.
Yoni Sauna, that's awesome. We'll have those
now.
at my yoga studio.
Yes,
I'm down.
Okay, bet.
Mhm.
I love that. So this is a good form of self-care, I would say. I feel like this plays into, at least for me, this plays into my love language. Like I love
Hey.
self-care, just acts of kindness. You feel me? Do you guys believe in love languages?
Yeah, so the 5 of them are what? They're touch,
Mm.
acts of service,
service.
words of affirmation,
Mhm.
quality time, and did I say touch already?
Let me check. I got it right.
Touch.
here
Gifts.
for-
Words of
Gifting.
Gifts.
Gifting.
Presents.
Gifting.
Presents. I like that. So what would you say your love languages are?
I feel like mine are different between like giving and receiving. Like giving, I'm more words of affirmation. I like gifting. I like cooking. So this is an act of service. But receiving, I like words of affirmation for sure. And quality time is the biggest one for me. And then maybe touch. But quality time, if I can't spend time with you, I don't really want to do all that.
That's important. Keep it.
It's a lot of investment for you to not be around.
That is very true. Teal, what are your love languages?
Mine would, I didn't know all of them, so thank you guys for telling me. I didn't know the 5 of them till right now. I've heard of them, so I'm not maybe that into it, but just hearing the 2, touch and words of affirmation, like together. Like, hold me and tell me that you love me.
Ooh.
Kiss me and take me somewhere nice. Like it's more like for some, you can talk all day and that don't really mean much, or you can do so much and never say anything. And I'm always going to give you the same energy. But when you do the 2 together, there's just a certain validation that happens for me. The gifting, quality time for sure. But I've also done relationships that I didn't get a lot of time with that person, and we like our space, right? So I don't mind quality time. And I think
I've
that can
done
mean
them.
2 things. Do you need it for yourself?
I've done them. I'm tired of them.
You need it for yourself or you need it with your person. There's a difference too. 'cause
Right.
Quality time is both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you?
I got it right here for
Oh,
y'all.
she got it.
Ooh,
Lay
this
it
is a
out.
sermon.
If y'all know me, y'all know I do everything personality. I love that shit. So first, it used to be physical touch. She swayed at her date.
Ooh.
It's words of affirmations first. I got quality time, very important. Even if it's a FaceTime, but honey, I like it when I'm next
There
to
you
you.
go. Yeah.
And then it comes acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
Wine and dine me. Do what you can, honey. I'm going to be right there, and I'm going to be with the big ass smile, honey. And then I got physical touch and receiving gifts.
I like that.
Do you guys feel like people think it would be bad for you to want like gifting as your love language? Because I
No,
feel
a
like when
lot
people think it's like materialistic. I'm just saying, like
Mhm.
that's a perspective, and I feel like some people would look down.
100. That has
You know what?
definitely.
No, because when you get something and someone knows you and knows to get you that, like literally my coworker gave me a Secret Santa and he got me like MF Doom and Madlib on vinyl and I almost cried.
Ooh,
Like it was my
nice.
coworker. It was like a non-relationship gift and I was like kind of choked up. Ooh, homie, that hit the soul. So it's like when someone knows you
That's a
that
really
well,
good gift. Yeah.
Yeah, to gift you something you like they know you'll like, it's kind of like, oh. So it is a love language. It's definitely of the heart.
Yeah.
I heard like love languages are everything you probably don't receive in your childhood. And when I thought about it, because my first one was physical touch, I was a child in my room figuring out how to do art. Like I do everything creative because I was by myself. So physical touch, when I got friends and they'd be like, you want a hug? I'm like, yeah. Like I'm so used to being like by myself. I'm learning how to be vulnerable with other people now. So like I feel like that's why it's third now, because I've gotten a lot of love. Like I'm finally feeling it.
I really like that.
Yes.
That is a crazy perspective because that makes you reevaluate why your love languages exist. I would say for me, it's acts of service. That's like number one for me because it can be something as simple as like, hey, I folded the clothes for you. Or, hey, I went to the store. I got you this whoop-de-whoop that you needed. Or it could be something extravagant. You got the rose petals, you got the candles, you get the massage, or you feel me? But, it's
Who
just...
y'all hanging out with?
Where you at, though?
It just depends. So I feel like acts of service is something that like we all like to see. And like you said, there is, I feel, a connotation where it's like, oh, you just want things. And I feel like it goes beyond that because it takes effort to get things, whether it's something that you did, whether you just put some toast for somebody in the morning for breakfast, or you went out and bought something for that person. It's so many different ranges, but they all mean something. Yeah. Would you say that when you look for a partner, you look for people who speak the same love language, or would you say it's usually different?
I would say people that just express theirs.
Mm.
Like if they act on them, because people that try and like withhold their feelings and things like that, that's the part that gets annoying. It's like, I don't want to have to fight with you to, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not going to. So if you want to tell me something, tell me later when you have a...
You could be a good
Help
person.
me, help me help you.
Right. You could be a good person, but like, I'm done fighting. Like, I'm done competing. I'm the only one. Get it through your head. Like, I shouldn't have to sit here and have conversations after conversations, because if we live in this single life, honey, I get tired fast if we're not involved, and you won't be there anymore. I'm just going to let you know. So keep it 100 with me. You know what I'm saying? But I got snatched because I was kind of used to, this is my past. I'm talking about it. Like us women, like at a young age, we feel like we're trying to look for the love, like we talked about before. Look for the love in all the wrong places because of what we think, the narrative of love is. And it
Or
doesn't make
women.
sense. So I was looking in a desperate measure. But when I finally started working on me and a guy asked me when I was talking to him, it didn't work out, but the point is progression. He asked me, what are your love languages? And I was like, God? I've never had a guy ask me that. So I love that. I want to normalize that and talk about what the future holds. Like, even if we don't want to date, can we talk about it still? Because what if you're going this way, I'm going this way? Communication.
Mm-hmm. Like
Right.
Teal said, she had an employee, a coworker, somebody who's not that personal to her.
Right.
Gift her something, and that's one of her love languages. So it's like, it's not necessarily something that has to be with your partner, but relationships, you need to be able
Right.
to understand each other's language.
Right, and I
Even
love
your
that.
friends.
It's a simple format to kind of get to understand your friends
Mhm.
and people in your lives, or a great way to
Candidate.
just affirm that someone's genuinely interested in getting to know you, which I'm sure that was very validating to
It
just have a
was.
guy be like, hey, like,
I'm like, wow.
help me learn how to approach you and treat you well.
We just put it in their playbook, they said.
Yeah.
Right. Take
I
notes.
told
had to
y'all
go
men to
and retake
tune into the-
it.
tune
I was
into the
like, you're
podcast.
teaching me something. I want somebody to teach me something because I'm going to teach you everything I know. Like, that's who I am.
A
Like,
sharer.
I disperse information.
That's
so,
an act of service. You're sharing knowledge
I
right
like
there.
that.
where
There we
you
go.
at?
Quality time. I would say, like, if I know somebody's love language is words of affirmation, I make it a note to be like, you look great. you look good. You know what I mean? Or just you go hard at what you do because it's like, I know that they like that. So that shit is free. You feel me? Love languages is free. But if you want, I did see online, you could take a test to find out what your love languages are. Maybe you can't decide or you don't know which one is like greater than the other. You can go online and take a test. I think that's crazy. Now there is no guessing. There is no excuse.
Right.
I like that. So it takes me back to, having your own love language, identifying your own love language is practicing self-worth, you would say. It's practicing self-love.
Finding the way to it.
Right. And I'm noticing as I grow, my idea of self-love is not only changing, but my practices on how we improve our self-love, our self-worth is changing. But I want to get some tips. Y'all ain't like, how we work on that? Because I could do better. I could go harder. I will say that.
I feel like my idea of self-worth has changed because like when I was younger and I looked at what I thought the confident, like star side of me was going to be, like it was a lot more based in like material things or being in certain places or like knowing certain things and people. And now that I've gotten older, I realize it's a lot more being at home within myself and taking, certain measures to make sure that I am cared for before I do all of the other things because I do like to give. But again, take care of the inner self first, and proving that to myself every day by doing these things is almost like cementing, like, yeah, I do. Because look at the proof. I see it.
I would have to say I agree with that. Like, I want to touch base on that because when it comes to knowing your inner magic, like, let's talk about it. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it's not a religious standpoint. This is about self-solitude and reconnecting with self. Celibacy. Okay. So when it comes down to it, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I have talked to somebody every day since high school. Like, as soon as I talk to one, it doesn't work out, I move on to the next one. Like, it's like clockwork. So I decided this year, and I'm glad 2020 was a year to do so, I decided to focus on me. And the months kept going to where I'm like, Thais, what do you want to do? Like, you're looking for this relationship, but like, have you even found yourself? So if you want to recalibrate, this is what I'm suggesting. You can do self-worth all different types of ways. But for me, this has helped me, this exercise, to be like, you know what? This is what I want in a partner. I'm willing to finally compromise. I'm willing to be mature. When you come along, I'm going to welcome you in. So that's what helped me for self-worth.
I like that. I've definitely been celibate. Like, I've definitely have had to practice that just to remind myself, like, girl, you do not need this. Like,
it's like a reservation of energy.
Yes. And it definitely helps you discover some shit. 'Cause you're like, why was I talking to this man and that one?
When you think of the list.
Ridiculous. Oh my God. But that's okay. We learn it. We progress. And that's what we strive for. Yes, I do believe that self-worth, to preserve it, you might have to cut out outside sources to tap in with yourself. And that is one way to practice it. I like that. Teal, how do you practice your self-worth? How do you maintain that?
Several ways, but I mean, you guys give me like an interesting perspective, being in a relationship as long as I've been in. But if I could think back to kind of how I got where I am, it's a really cool place because it was all manifested from this space of self-worth. And it's crazy how it gets reflected back to you in another human being. And it happens when I see each of you women, and it happens with my man. And it's so cool when you can just like write some stuff down and write some affirmations down, and then you just see it reflect right away in yourself, and it reflects on others. So that's kind of always, like I said, I'm more of somebody who wants to be aware of where my self-care is at, where my self-worth is at, and I gauge that by my mirrors, by how I interact with others and where I'm at. Am I coming from an anxious space today? Am I just fully in it? I'm good, I'm confident, I feel amazing. I kind of gauge it off my interactions, and then I take that home and just do some self-reflection. So I think self-reflection is a big one. If you're an overthinker, hi everyone. My name's Teal, and I'm an overthinker.
I think everyone is.
My hand is up.
You're an overthinker when you're a genius. Like,
right.
There's a lot of thoughts to be thought.
Exactly. Tap into a different space. Decide I'm only going to give myself 5 minutes to do this, all right? Give yourself those 5 minutes, all right? Damn, I wasn't outspoken enough today. Oh, I missed, I did this. Okay, cool. Give yourself that 5 minutes, get it out of the way, do your self-reflection, do your little improvements that you wanted to make on yourself that day, and then keep it pushing. Go to sleep. The next day is a new day. You're a totally different person the next day. You're a new you every morning when you wake up. So
Preach it.
yes. So let it go and move on. But I love self-reflection. I think anyone who's an overthinker, giving yourself that little time frame is crucial, because then you're not doing it
all day and all
the
night.
time.
You know what? I've never thought about doing that, but that's, well, I guess not intentionally, right? Like sitting there for 5 minutes and going, this is what you did today. How do you feel about it? And it doesn't have to be like a negative, like taking it personal thing. It can definitely just be constructive to yourself. Like, hey, you said you were going to do this. How do you feel? Like, oh, you don't feel great? Okay, great. So what are you going to do tomorrow to make sure that this isn't the same feeling that you're doing? You know what I mean? So
it's like a little kid, right? Who doesn't know how to express their emotions. What would you tell him to do? Tell him, here's a pillow. Punch the pillow. Yeah, it's okay. Feel angry, but punch a pillow. Get it out in a productive manner and then move forward. Let it go. You know, that's what you tell a little kid. So it's kind of like giving yourself that little like in the ring with yourself real quick and getting it out the way so you can kind of step forward. Like I said, we don't want to overindulge in things.
Allow yourself to be angry,
behavior, because that's hurtful to our spirits. But a couple little constructive things about yourself you want to improve, handle it. I'm happy to see people do that.
Do you guys talk to yourselves?
Oh, too much.
I have always talked to myself.
No, because I had to look this up because, listen, I'm an artistic person. Like, I'm not around people much. If I need to work something out, it's even scientifically proven that people that talk to themselves actually become their own therapists, because you're working out your problems literally vocally. So it's like in your head, what should I do versus what do you want to do? How do you want to feel right now? Do you want to feel love or do you want to feel anxious? Like, ask yourself that. Honestly, talking to yourself, communication, important.
I always talk to myself. I love having, girl, I'll be busting up. Like, I'm with some, I have had my
rapper,
roommate.
So that's like.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
My roommate is like, girl, who are you on the phone with? Me,
No,
honey. This is me.
Oh,
and she says hi.
Why are you laughing? Because I'm funny.
Because I'm funny.
No, for real.
Did you just hear what I said? No, you weren't, because you weren't invited. Thank you. Anyway, so I feel like
Catch up.
Yes, like that is definitely a practice of self-worth for me, because I'm like, sometimes I feel like if I just say what I'm thinking, it's just putting it out there, it's affirming it more. And I love that. I feel like this goes back to our love language. How do we preserve your self-worth? You can take steps by practicing your preferred love language.
I also think it's interesting. I think 3 out of 4 of us, right, said words of affirmation was the first one for us.
Yeah, it was,
and that's important. That's probably why we talk to ourselves so much.
Well, that's
you know what I mean? We're like affirming and checking in and making sure like we are okay.
I like how that's like, we like open communication. That's what it sounds like too. Like, we talk to
No
ourselves.
wonder we're on a podcast.
And we want that.
Right.
Wow, that keeps coming back to us. How we literally are a mirror of what we want.
And Aquarius is what? Communication, right?
Well, yes, it's about the intellect, but it's also how you communicate with others. But Gemini is more about communication.
Oh, Gemini.
All
yeah.
air signs, yes, but predominantly, like, I would say Geminis, Libras for sure. But it's because the 2 people with Geminis.
Talk to me,
Yeah.
talk to me. Tell me how you feel.
I'm on the
As a Libra, I need to hear it every day.
I love this. You know what, you guys, one of these days, one of these episodes, we're going to have to dive into the zodiacs, because I know we have a lot of people out there who are a lot of different signs. And we have the best women to talk to it. Like, we're the ones to talk about it. You feel me? But for now, I think we should leave them off on a sweet note. I feel like we should go ahead and wish these people a great day, a great existence. I want to thank you guys for being here and having a sweet conversation with me. It's always love. It's always education. It's always good vibes. But until then,
Peace and blessings.
Peace out.
Good night.
bye, y'all.